do you think the number one reason is that people's rose cuttings fail? Is it because they're too wet and they rot? Is it because they're too dry so they can't root? Is it because they get disease? What is it that makes your rose cuttings fail? Whilst it can be any of those things, the number one reason my rose cuttings fail is simply the length of time that it takes for them to root. I just neglect them. It's a long, long time to hope all the conditions stay perfect for rooting. So how do we optimize those conditions so that even if we forget about our rose cuttings, they will still root at the end of it? So in this video, we're going to take a look at doing hardwood cuttings, which are the winter cuttings for rose cuttings. So they're not the same as the summer cuttings when we take semi-ripe or softwood cuttings. And I'm going to show you how to optimize the conditions so that these roses will root even if you forget about them. So before I get into optimizing the conditions, let's just talk a little bit about how the winter cuttings work. So the winter cuttings work by forming a callus over the cut at the bottom, just below the node, on the stem that you've chosen. And we'll talk about the stems, choosing the right material in a minute. But we're just an overview of how they work. So then they get this scab, which is called a callus. And it's like a white sort of, it almost has like a little bulbous ridge around the base of the stem where you took the cutting, where the cut is. And it's from there, once that's calloused, and that can take months, that can take the whole winter. But once that has calloused healthily, when the warmer weather comes and the longer days come, then that is where the roots will start to come from. So in order to get the callus, we need the stem to survive in the perfect conditions. But understanding that is key to succeeding with hardwood cuttings. So before we talk about those optimized conditions, let's go and cut some material. So the great thing about winter is, winter is the time you cut your roses back anyway. So you might as well use the material for making cuttings, for propagating new roses. Now, the best way to ensure you've got the right material is to go and get yourself a pencil, standard HB pencil, and measure your material against that. Because what you don't want is you don't want too thick a stem and you don't want too thin a stem. And an HB pencil, a standard HB pencil, is the perfect measuring tool for your material in terms of the thickness and the length that we're going for when we're creating these cuttings. And you can also use it as a dibber when you're going to put your cutting into the soil. And when you've harvested your material, you're going to make sure that it's green and it's from this year's growth. You don't want last year's growth. You don't want any woody, like hard, real brown woody material that's actually turned to wood, because that would signify that it is old or scarred. You don't want that. Usually you find the ideal section about midway on the stem. And of course, don't forget, it does depend on the rose. If it's a patio rose, it's going to have smaller, slimmer stems, so you're just going to have to work with that. The pencil is just a general guide. It's a kind of uniformity that you're going to try and go for, but it doesn't mean you can't take a cutting if the stem is smaller because it's from a smaller rose. When you've harvested your material, depending on how long it is, you can take one cutting or several cuttings out of it. And the main criteria for the cuttings now are obviously the size, the length, which is your pencil. So we've already dealt with that. Then we're going to need a node at the bottom, a minimum of one node, but we're looking for about 3 nodes on the bottom and 2 nodes on the top. So if you can find a length of stem with about 5 nodes on it, the length of a pencil, if it's slightly more, if it's slightly less, it doesn't matter. And you want 3 nodes in the soil preferably and 2 nodes out. That's the way I do it. But generally, as a general rule, the roots are going to come from the callus at the bottom. But we need the nodes out of the soil because they're going to grow our new leaves in the spring. And those leaves are obviously going to photosynthesize, which is going to provide energy to the plants and the root. So on that note, unlike a summer cutting, you don't need leaves for a hard winter cutting. I cut the bottom under a node at a slant. This gives me more surface area for callus, and that's more surface area for roots. And from there comes your roots. If you're lucky, you may get roots out of the other nodes in the soil as well. But the best roots will come from the callus. Now you can, at this point, just put the stems in a jar of clean water. And if you can be bothered, you can keep changing the water every other day, for months and months and months. If you're prepared to do that, I have actually done that and I have succeeded in growing a new rose plant, but it's a bit of a chore. The second way is to use a plant pot with your soils. Let's talk about the compost. Let's get the compost together. So we want 2 parts compost and 1 part sharp sand for drainage. Well, just so that we don't hold too much moisture in the soil. Then the soil must be damp. This mixture must be damp, not wet and not dry, damp. So there's going to be enough moisture in it to service the material, to stop the material drying out, but also to stop the material from rotting. And then we are going to put the rose stems in a bottle. And we're not even going to put drainage holes in the bottle. We're going to make a little self-contained unit, almost like a terrarium. So the moisture that's going to go into this bottle, in this compost now, is all the moisture we're going to need until spring. We're going to hold that moisture in there so it's just basically recycled. And this keeps the moisture at the same level throughout the entire winter period. At best, you're going to have to sort of glance at it a couple of times, maybe just to check that it hasn't been knocked over or something like that. I've had that before as well. So we cut the bottle in about 2/3. We're going to have 1/3 at the bottom, 2/3 at the top for the stems. We're going to bury at least sort of 2 to 3 inches of node in the compost. Then put the lid of the bottle back on, and then we're going to hermetically seal it with sellotape or some other clear tape, or any tape, in fact, and then put the lid back on. This should contain all the moisture for the entire winter, and then keep it in the greenhouse. This means that it's going to sort of stay at a slightly above average temperature than it would have outside. And the idea is that we're not going to open this bottle. We're not going to do anything with this bottle. We're just going to put it in indirect sunlight in the greenhouse. You can also do it on a cool north-facing window ledge in your house if you want, but not above a radiator. Definitely not above a radiator. And then we're just going to leave it to do its thing all over winter. If we see signs of growth, as things get warmer in the spring, and we see signs of potential growth, then we can take the lid off, let a bit of airflow, think about moving it outside, think about potting it up. But for now, we're just optimizing the conditions to get this callus, to get these roots, to get a new plant in spring without having to bother about it. And that is my plan for these cuttings. It is like the winter sowing method because you can just forget about them and leave them, and the humidity will stay at the same level throughout the entire period. I'm going to bring you the results in the spring and let you know how we got on. This is how I'm going to do it. And the way I look at it is this. I was going to cut those roses back anyway, so there's no loss using the material if they don't take. And second of all, I haven't had to do anything all winter. So if they take, that's a great result to bring to you in the spring. And if they don't take, well, I'm in no better or worse position than I was before I gave it a go. So why not give it a go yourselves, and we can compare notes in the chat on the Friday Live Club. Let me know what you think of this idea. Let me know if you're going to give it a go. If you like the idea and it inspired you, don't forget to subscribe, like, share with your friends, and I'll see you again in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.